Good morning. And today is the third Sunday, is the third week. We are going to close the third week of this sorry, of this amazing program. It's for me. You can say your feedback. By the way, I cannot see your comments. I think I have some issue with StreamYard, with the platform we are streaming. By the way, as you see today, Clementine is not with us. She is working again. So she said, my love, you're on your own. I said, okay, that's life. Today, we're going to have a friend of ours, and he dedicated a lot of his time to insight. He dedicated a lot of his time helping us developing insight in Cyprus. He came many times in Cyprus, making workshops and giving us a lot of advices and how to lead, how to do many things. He is a facilitator in Insight, and right now he is on his boat with his lovely wife in Turkey. They're there, I think, for 2 months, but he will say more about this. And they're in the marina of small village called Orim. So let's bring with us Offer. Hello, Offer.
Hey, how are you?
Good. We are good here. We are so far okay with everything. We make some games with the Global Money community. We had last week. We had this Friday, and we are going to have next week also. So we are doing great. We have fun, but I hear in Israel they don't have fun at all. But anyway, you are in safe place now.
Yeah, Israel is really terrible. I feel like I'm in a parallel universe because I hear what's going on in Israel, and this is my country, so I'm very much connected. But at the same time, since the beginning of September, I'm on my boat in Turkey, sailing in beautiful waters, beautiful places, with my wife, sometimes with a friend or two. And it's like it's amazing how how I have those two feelings inside of me at the same time. On the one hand, yeah, but I'm really taking one of the lessons from Israel, from insight into my heart, and that is that where you look is what you see, and that's where your energy goes. So what you focus on, if I will focus on the news from Israel, no matter where I will be miserable because it's really upsetting, and it's hard. My heart goes out to them. So I have to find a balance between feeling for my people and being with them emotionally on one hand, but allowing myself to really be free on the boat and safe where I am. So that's where I am right now. That's basically it. I'm going to stay on my boat until mid-November. Hopefully, there's going to be a seminar in Cyprus, and then I will come. But if not, then I will see. I will go back to Israel when things calm down.
Yeah. We are going to have a seminar no matter what. I mean, if the restrictions here they're still the same. But can you tell me more about the topic of the day? The topic of the day is toolbox of life.
Yeah.
What do you mean by this?
What do I mean? Actually, when we do the seminar, insight seminar, which is called the Awakening of the Heart, we're telling people let's create a toolbox. Actually, we are not creating the toolbox. Everybody, you, me, everybody has that toolbox with them. But unfortunately, some of us don't realize that we have that toolbox for life. And some of us are not using the tools, or some of us, even worse, are misusing those tools. So today, I thought I will talk about some of those tools that we have and how not to abuse them how to use them as far as we want to create the life that we want to live. You know, if we sit here, let's say at my age, I'm 68, if I would sit here and look back in my life and say, oh, I missed this and I didn't do that, and, you know, I'm not where I wanted to be, probably it's because I didn't use that toolbox cleverly during my life. Now I'm not there. I'm sitting in my boat and I'm very happy with my life. But the last 25 years, I've seen many people in the seminar who are sharing about how they're not using the tools or abusing the tools. So let's talk about some of those tools. And three of them came up to mind immediately when I was thinking about it. One is imagination. You know, imagination is one of the strongest tools that we have. And we don't realize that. And sometimes we even are abusing that. So what do I mean by that? If you will look at the world around you, everything that is man-made started with somebody's imagination. You have to imagine something in order to create it. If you don't know what it is, then you cannot create it. So the same goes for the life you want to live, or specific things you want to have, or you want to do, or you want to be. If you cannot imagine those things very clearly, then chances are that you will not have them. Unless, you know, something kind of falls on you, you know, you are not responsible and it happens. But we are in Insight Learning that we want to take the wheel of our life into our hands. So if I want something, I need to be able to identify specifically what it is that I want. And I have to basically train my imagination to believe that it's possible. And we do it with visualization. We're doing it with, you know, like those success pictures that we create, these success maps, right? You know, we want to make that future something very tangible, very real, something that our mind is going for it and says, yeah, this exactly, this is what I want. And in the seminar, when we take this point, we talk not so much about dreams, because, you know, dreams are something that, you know, we can dream and then we can forget about it, and then we dream about something else. It's not something that we are committed to. But we talk about clear intention. So if I want something, I have to be very, very clear about what it is. And another point that we make about this clear intention, and a clear intention is one of the tools that I have in my toolbox, because I'm focusing myself on something very specific, very clear, and now I know that this is the direction that I want to go. Okay? So the clear intention is very important. And what we suggest also, that when I create this intention, I want to think not only about what I want, about what, but also about why I want that. Okay? If I want to live on a boat, why do I want to live on a boat? What experience am I looking for? What is it going to do for me? Because if I'm not clear about that, actually the motivation to go out and make the effort to get what I want is the experience that I'm looking for. This is the motivator. This is the thing that burns inside of me like a fire and moves me forward and makes me go through the obstacles and make, you know, and commitment and do all these things. Why? Because this is the experience I'm looking for. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for freedom. I'm looking for excitement. I'm looking for camaraderie. I'm looking for friendship. These are the things that move our life, not the car or the boat or, you know, or the house or the partner. These are the things that move us. So imagination, clear intention, and knowing what is the experience, focusing on that experience is one of the tools. Another tool that I was thinking about is choice. You know, we are making tons of choices all the time. but we are not making them, with conscious. We're not consciously making those choices. I get up in the morning, I brush my teeth, and I have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Did I ask myself, do I want right now to have coffee or tea? No, it's a habit. So in order to make life easy, I am actually creating habits that will allow me not to make too many choices in a conscious way, right? But some of us, and I've seen many of us in the seminar room, some of us become choice averse. What does it mean? We don't like to make choices. So we're in a crossroad in our life, and I'm asking myself, do I need to do this or do I need to do that? And then some of us get stuck. And we say, well, I don't know. And then I go out and I start asking hundreds of people, what would you do if you were me? And each one of them will tell you what they would do, but they are not you. So apparently their advice is not going to be very helpful to you, right? You know what you need to do, but you are resisting making a choice. So you're not listening to your heart, you're not listening to your intuition, you're not listening to yourself, because you say, well, what if the choice is A rather than B? And what if it will be the wrong choice? What if I make a mistake? And I think that many of us, during our history in life, we have made some choices that brought us the wrong outcomes. Okay, we didn't get what we thought we will get when we went out to do something. So rather than realizing that maybe on the way to do something, we made we didn't listen to some feedback, or we made some small mistakes, or something like that, rather than realizing that it was the way we did something that brought us the wrong outcome. And wrong means theoretically what I think was wrong. I don't believe that there is anything that there is a mistake. Nothing is a mistake, because from everything I can learn and grow. But leave that on the side. If the outcome was not the outcome that I expected, rather than saying, okay, it didn't work out, now I need to take a different route in order to get what I want, I say to myself, I made a bad choice. And then we put the negativity on the act of choosing. And we say, I don't want to choose, because if I choose, I may do something wrong, and then I will feel bad, right? So choice, if I take the power of choice into my hand, this is one of the strongest tools that I have in my toolbox. Imagine that. If I let other people make the choices for me, if I let life make choices for me, I find myself in a place that I didn't control. I didn't bring myself into that, right? And then all I can do is complain. I can think about something that I wanted, compare it to something that I have, and complain. Why didn't I get that thing that I wanted? Okay, because I didn't make the choice. I let something else do the choice for me. You see, it's like an attitude in life. The attitude can be an attitude um, of empowerment, of taking the wheel of life into my hand, and saying, whenever I come to a crossroad, I will think what my intention is, what is my clear intention, where I want to be, and I will make a choice that is congruent with that path, and I will take a step in that direction, right? That's a attitude of empowerment, of taking control and taking power to myself. If I'm not in that attitude, I can be in an attitude of a victim. A victim is somebody that choices are made for them. They don't like doing what they're doing, so they have to do what they're doing. And when you come to the seminar, one of the greatest lessons for me was that I realized that everything that I say that I actually have to do, the things that I don't like doing and I'm complaining because I have to do them because somebody made me do them, suddenly I realized that those are also choices. I choose to do them. Why? Because I'm not willing to pay the price of not doing them. So rather than saying, okay, let's take, for example, paying taxes. I don't like paying taxes. Absolutely not. Last year, I had to, and my position is even worse because I pay taxes to the United States government and I pay taxes to the Israeli government because I'm an American citizen and an Israeli citizen. So I don't like paying taxes. Now, I can sit here and complain about my terrible situation in life that I have to pay taxes to the United States and I have to pay taxes to Israel. Or I can ask myself, what would be the price of deciding not to pay taxes, right? Or can I avoid paying taxes? So let's take the United States. I can give up my American citizenship, and then I will not have to pay taxes in the United States. Oh, great. Do I want to give up my American citizenship? No. So here I choose, now I can make something switch in my mind, and rather than being a victim of the American tax system, I can be empowered and I can take the decision that since I don't want to give up my American citizenship, I choose to pay taxes to the United States government. And that gives the power to me. It's my choice. And the same for the Israeli tax system, and the same for taking out the garbage, and the same for a lot of other things that I'm doing, and I'm complaining when I'm doing them. So this is a tool in my toolbox, choice. I even go further. At some point in my life, I decided that I want to turn the automatic things into choices. So I was working and I would go to the cafeteria and prepare my regular cup of coffee. And then I would stop for a minute and I would say, do I want coffee now? Or is it a habit? Now, sometimes I would make the coffee and sometimes I would not. But the thing is that I decided to be more aware of what I'm doing in my life and make it a choice rather than an automatic behavior. So choice is a good tool. What other tools do we have? When we talk about imagination, by the way, one of the things that came to my mind is our beliefs. Our beliefs are tools. Why? Because they make life easier. They kind of create a realm of possibilities, right? People don't like uncertainty. If I would tell you, you go out today to life and nothing is certain. You don't know if you're going to live or die. You don't know if you're going to have a job or not. You don't know if you are going to have a wife or not. You don't know if your child is going to be there or not. You kind of start like somebody who had the car accident. They wake up in the hospital. They don't know anything about themselves. They don't know language, nothing. Okay? This is kind of can be a very terrible experience, right? And we as human beings are trying to predict and expect and know what's going to happen so that we know what to do and how to behave. So our belief systems are part of that. I want to believe that if I go on the taxi and I tell the person and that the driver take me to the airport, I will reach the airport. Okay? I want to believe that that's the case. I want to believe that people are good. I want to believe that love exists. I want to believe that I'm capable of loving. But I also start believing the things that, some of our beliefs have been generated so many years ago in order to protect us. And then at a later stage, we don't really evaluate those beliefs again. We don't ask ourselves, is this belief helping me or is it preventing me from having what I want in my life? That's the point. That's why beliefs can be a positive tool because they bring some certainty and some they make me be able to predict and expect things, but they also can make me hinder me in my pursuit for what I want in my life. So let's take an example. If I don't believe that somebody can be rich and honest at the same time, and I want to make a lot of money and be rich, will that belief assist me or prevent me from being rich? It would prevent me. We call those limiting beliefs. So what I'm saying is, in my toolbox, I have the capability of creating expectations and, kind of predicting what's going to happen. But I also have those beliefs that are preventing me from having what I want. So I want to be aware of that. I want to think about that. I want to say, okay, are those beliefs, are they limiting beliefs or are they enabling beliefs? Are they making me stronger or are they making me weaker? So that's another thing. Action. Action is something that some of us are don't like to do. We like to sit and wait for things to happen. And why? Because when I take a step, I take a risk. Every time I act, I take a risk. I take a risk of being mistaken. I take a risk of making not look so good. Whatever it is, action brings with it risk. But there is no benefit without action. If I don't do, I don't get. And that's part of my biggest lesson of just plan something step by step and take action. Take the first step. Why? Because as long as I don't move, I don't get feedback. And the ability of us human beings to take in feedback and use it to our benefit is one of the tools that we have. We can listen to what the world is telling us. We can listen to what our friends are telling us. We can listen to what our heart is telling us, which is sometimes the most effective feedback, what our intuition is telling us, and then we can act on that. We can do better. We can improve. But if we don't move, we don't get feedback. That's the biggest lesson. So you say, okay, wait a second, but if I will rush forward, how do I know that I'm in the right direction? How do I know that I will not get lost in some wrong path? And I'm saying, well, you don't need to rush forward. All you need to do is take a little step forward in that direction, and you will get feedback. Because if it's the wrong direction, your heart will tell you, nah, this is not it. This is not bringing you, and let's tie it back to where we started. This is not bringing you the experience you were looking for. Okay? If I go this way, I'm not getting the experience that I was looking for. So maybe I should try something different. But if I don't act, somebody said if you're sitting on the railway path in the right direction and you don't move, a train will come and kill you. Okay? You will be run over. So action is very, very important, and knowing which way to act comes from my imagination, my clear intention, my choices, managing my beliefs, managing my comfort zone, and knowing that step that I'm taking, this choice that I'm taking, even if it's not the right choice, at least I made the choice. The power was mine. I was writing the book of my life, not somebody else. So that's some of the tools that I was thinking of. And there are so many more. When we talk about one last thing that I was thinking, sometimes language is very powerful when it brings you a connotation. So I was thinking about paying attention to life, paying attention to where I am, paying attention to what I say, paying attention to what I do. and to others, of course. And then I was thinking, how interesting is that in Hebrew, paying attention, or the word attention, is tsumet lev. Tsumet lev, if you translate it to English, would be a input of the heart. And then I said, oh, that's interesting, because paying attention is not something I should do with my mind. It's something I should do with my heart. And in Hebrew, it's like put your heart into it. Live your life, but look at it with the perspective, with the prism of your heart, not only your mind and your thoughts and so on. So people, pay attention.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful.
Thank you for was yeah, it was amazing. These are amazing tools. As you know, and as I said before, and offer also, we're going to have a seminar from 13 to 15 of November. It's going to be in Annabelle Hotel. And offer, can you say to the people why, especially now with the corona and all these situations, and also some people that have financial difficulties, why they need to come to this seminar? Why it's good for them to actually to attend this seminar?
Okay, look, one of the things that I learned in the seminar is to control my thoughts, for instance, not to control in a negative way, but to pay attention to my thoughts. And the corona makes it very clear to me. You know, I believe, and that's my belief, I don't have any evidence, physical evidence. I believe that your immune system is influenced by your thoughts. So if you start imagining the worst case scenario and you start bring fear into your body, and you say, oh, it's so terrible, there is corona, I'm going to die, whatever, people around me are going to die. This is lowering your immune system, and then chances are better that you will get corona. So this is like a little thing. And you say, well, but this is something that I learned in the seminar. There is something about coming to a place where you take 3 days, and in those 3 days, you are looking into yourself. You're looking into all of those tools we were talking about. You're looking into your habits, your behavior, your thoughts, your beliefs, how you deal with guilt and resentment, how you can go out of being in the past or imagining, and dreaming about the future, and being in the right now, just feeling life, like like being alive. And this is such an amazing experience that when you come out of there, you don't only come out of there with a reorganized toolbox, that now you know how to use each tool when you find yourself in life in places that you need those tools. Not only how to organize your toolbox, but you come out loving life and loving yourself, which is the most important thing. Because loving yourself is like the strongest tool that you can have. You are an amazing person, and I'm talking to all of you. You are all amazing people, even though you don't believe it. So put those beliefs away, and 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 discover the beauty that is in you. And from that point, you get all the power, all the strength to lead your life like the most beautiful life that you can have. And then you choose happiness, you choose loving. And that's amazing.
Yes. Okay, not to keep you busy, because I'm sure you have a lot of nice, amazing things to do: swimming, diving. Uh, uh, anyway, um, yes. And
Sailing,
for
Krasi, I'm on the boat So I will kind of finish with something about clear intention and sailing, because when you are on the boat, you use the wind, right?
Yes.
And there is an old saying by a Roman philosopher. His name was Seneca, and he said, when a man does not know what harbor he is making for, which means what port he wants to go to, no wind is a good wind. Which means if you don't have a clear intention of what you want, nothing is good or bad, anything, no wind is a good wind or a bad wind. You're just sitting there. So
Exactly.
have a clear intention about life and go for it.
Yes. And before to finish, I would like to put again my lovely video because it's my favorite about Insight, where it's gonna be and which dates they're gonna be. For more questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Many people which they're watching us, they already been um, in Insight 1, Insight 2, even Insight 3 and 4. So you can comment and say what is Insight for you and what is the feeling after Insight. So I want to wish you amazing, lovely Sunday and see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you. Bye.